Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I go by Dark Mage. Today we'll be working on the menu animation with the sidebar. So we'll be trying to recreate this here, which is simple and easy transition. So let's go to a new file, create the sidebar. I'm going to name it the sidebar. Then for some reason it's not renaming, so go for the frame. I click on here to choose my frame, then I come here and I choose the let's go for 11 Pro. Next thing I'll do is I'll add my layout grid. So I normally use the columns grid. Here I'm going to put it as 8 count grid with a 20 pixel margin and 8 pixel gutter, and boom, we have this. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to import our icons. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to be using Iconify. You could get Iconify by downloading or installing it from the Figma community. The first thing I want to search for is the Hamburger menu, or you could just type in menu to get it. I'm gonna go for menu. So I'll be using the Google material icon. Then I'll be importing the icon. My icon has been imported. Okay, for some reason it imported the close icon and not. So this is the menu icon that I'll be using. So import icon, and we have our menu icon. Then to import this, to get this particular icon, you click on close. You click on close, choose the Google material icon. It has the rounded edge. So back to our project. So we have these two icons, the menu icon and the close icon. The next thing I want to do is to create, before I create my rectangles, I'll go here, put this up here. So I'll be putting it 32 pixel. Clamp down on your Alt, then page up to move up or down until you get the desired spacing. So I'm using 32 for this. This is where my menu hamburger will be. The next thing I want to do is to create like a square to showcase the food. Then I'll be using 16 pixel for the radius here. Then right click, I'll be using the plugins. So for the plugins, I'll be using Unsplash, the Unsplash plugin. When I click on it, it's running the Unsplash, and we'll be using food. So this, I'm using this. You could use any image you want for practice reasons. Now I have this, I'm going to move this out of the way for now. Then clamp down on Ctrl D to duplicate. So 38, then 38. The spacing on this for now and for the purpose of this tutorial doesn't matter. The next thing I do is I click on the frame. Now I won't be collecting any frame from here. Rather, I'll be creating my own frame. So I'll be using grid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll be using 5 grids. So I counted from the right 5 grids. Make sure that it aligns with the right and the bottom. Now it's here, but it doesn't have any fill. I come here and I click on add fill, and now we have a fill here. Now for this, I'll be closing the eye here so that it doesn't show up here. The next thing I do is I click on my close button, put it inside this frame. So like we did before, 32. Then for the out, for the left, we'll go for let's say 32 too. So let's go with 32. Now I click on text to put the text, so close. Now this is enter, but I want to change it to poppins. And I want to make it 16 pixels instead of 12 pixel. And then align together, clamp down on Alt. I want the spacing between to be 16 and not 13. So clamp down on Alt, use the end or right arrow key to get the required spacing that I want. The next thing I want to do is to add a fictional navigation. So I'll have home, I'll have my about, I'll have services, menu, then contact. Now here are the links that I want. Then clamp down on home, clamp down on my shift button, apologies for that. Then to select all of them. When I select all of them, I do shift A to get my auto layout, and I'll be changing the name to menu here. Now I have menu and the spacing, we're making the spacing 16. So here is where you change your spacing here, spacing between items. So 16, and voila, we have our menu. Now this is not what it's going to look like or where it's going to be. So I'll click on this frame, which is the frame 1 menu, then drag it out here. So I'm going to rename this to open. Then go back here, since we closed our menu I, open it. So for some reason it's on our frame, so we'll go this way. I will move it into this frame, so to be sure that it's still on 32. Okay, yeah, so the spacing here is 20. So for the sake of consistency, we're moving it to 20, then here 20, and we're done. Next thing we're going to do is to do our prototyping. Okay, no, that was the wrong button to be clicked. So I go to prototype. I've already selected my device. You could make your device none if you wanted to. We're going to keep that none, but for when you're doing yours, you could put any device you want, but for the purpose of this tutorial, we're going with none. Then I click on this. This is my connector node. I want to connect it to this. Now I want, when it's clicked, it opens an overlay. Now it doesn't navigate to this page, rather it opens an overlay. So when I open this overlay, you see it shows centered, but I do not want it to be centered. I want it to be coming from the right. So here it says top left, but we want it to be top right because that is the side where our menu should come from. Then I want to activate this. When I click on this, it enables me to close this menu when I click outside, and also add background behind overlay. So I want, once my menu, my sidebar comes up, the overlay is darkened. So I'm going to make it a 40 and not a 25, so you could see the difference. Now I want it to move in, so I'm not using dissolve. There is no option for smart animate, so I'll be using move in. You see how the movement goes in. So now I want this moving to be 120 milliseconds. so that it will be seamless. What next happens? When I also click on this, when I click on this, I'm connecting it to this frame, the iPhone. When I click on it, I want it to close overlay. Now here, this one opens overlay. I want this one to close the overlay. So on click closes the overlay. Now, when I click on this and I click on my play button, and pull this off. So remove the Figma UI. So when I click on this, you see, this is our mobile. When I click on this, it moves in. When I click outside, it closes. When I click on this, see, as it's open, you can see the overlay. It's darker than it is before. Then when I click on close, you see, it comes up open. So that will be the end of our tutorials today. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, hit on the subscribe button. See you next time. Thank you.